Senator Brown and I have worked on some cases together, including one that has to do with tubular product called OCTG, Oil Country Tubular Goods. Companies in Ohio, like U.S. Steel, were very happy when we won a case that Senator Brown and I both supported, and we were able to put in place, some relief. And now they're seeing evidence of fraud, circumvention, numerous Chinese websites actively promoting their ability to evade this specific tariff that's in place by falsifying the country of origin of Chinese-made pipe product. So it's happening right now as we talk. And one of the things that we got into this legislation, as you know, I know Senator Brown supports it strongly as well, is the Enforce Act. And I've been a supporter of the Enforce Act because even when we're successful in these cases, if there's evasion, it still doesn't help the workers we represent. So Senator Brown and I got legislation through called Level the Playing Field Act. It changes the way you deal with anti-dumping and countervailing duty cases, as you know, and the Commerce Department, ITA, and ITC are now being asked to implement that, and we're aggressively pursuing their implementation of that. That'll help. It gets relief faster. It's more meaningful relief. You don't have to shut down the business and fire people in order to get the relief that you need. But it doesn't help if you don't have the Enforce Act enforced as well. And the Enforce Act will keep people from evading that countervailing duty or anti-dumping duty by going to another country. So I'll give you another example. There's some folks at Penex Aluminum in Latonia, Ohio. Again, we helped them to win a countervailing duty case and an anti-dumping case against unfair Chinese aluminum exports. By the way, it allowed them to create more jobs and to invest $38 million in their plant. So this is a relatively small aluminum plant in Ohio that was able to benefit directly. Now they have a new concern. The Chinese aluminum producers are evading customs duties by shipping their products through different countries under different names. American Sprint Wire employs 250 people in Bedford Heights, Ohio, can tell the same story. American Sprint Wire was a successful petitioner in a trade case against China, significant duties on imports of steel wire from China. Chinese traders circumvented the orders by transshipping the wire through Malaysia. Imports from Malaysia, Mr. Commissioner, were non-existent in 2008, like none. They increased to 4.7 million pounds in 2009 and then surged to 32.8 million pounds in 2010, while imports from China, by the way, because of the orders that were in place, declined. So this is happening, and these duty evaders are becoming more brazen every day. Just yesterday, I received an email from a group that specializes in duty evasion. Someone passed it along to my office, and the email explains how the company, this duty evasion company, provides a professional trading solution to help Chinese exporters sneak their products past the U.S. Customs Service by routing them through Malaysia. So, I am very concerned about this issue because we can have great successes on the law and yet they can evade. So I guess one question I would ask for you is, we've given you the tools now, and specifically we've given CBP has the tools now to strengthen their investigations, to make it a de facto case rather than having to prove intent. We've given you the tools you need. Are you putting it in place? I'm told that last month some of your senior officials said that you don't expect to meet the deadline for implementing these regulations. I hope that's not true. Can you comment on that today? Are you guys going to meet the deadlines? And are we moving ahead with these regulations?
There are a number of deadlines that were included in the passage of the law. It's our intent, although there are several that are very challenging for quickly working and putting them together, but it's my intent that we will meet those deadlines, including an interim final rule on the issue that was discussed earlier. So we would like to do that. But regardless of right now on the importance of the rulemaking, our posture to do the enforcement and listen to whether it's the wire companies in Alabama or Ohio is very critical to us because of the transshipment issue. So we need to be more aggressive. We need to have better outreach, and we need to be able to take those tips and that information and move forward on the transshipment, which we see. And it's as frustrating to me, I know, as it is to you and the people you represent.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're facing a real crisis in Ohio right now on steel. We know that there is overcapacity overseas. It's being dumped in America. We've been winning cases. Foreign steel imports have now taken a record 29% of the U.S. market share. That was 2015 numbers. We believe it's higher in 2016. We've had 13,500 layoffs in the last year. Over 1,000 layoffs in Ohio alone of steel workers. And, you know, outside of these efforts to enforce the Enforce Act, which we talked about today, what else have you been doing that could help the administration to address this steel import crisis? And is there coordination between what you're doing and what Commerce at ITA and what the ITC is doing?
You know, I've been now attended a number of meetings with Secretary Pritzker and Secretary Liu and a number of others. I worked closely with Ambassador Froman before he became the USTR. So the coordination and the fact that we've embedded over at USTR someone from Customs and Border Protection all ensures, I think, better coordination. Also, very much that along with the President's economic advisor, Mr. Zients, we are very much on board with our role in the enforcement side of this and moving as aggressively as we can as an organization to do the enforcement. And also, as the ranking member had said, to send a message to those that would evade, and also, of course, to send a message to the stakeholders, to the people that are most impacted and affected by this, that one, we're listening to them, two, we're going to take their information, and three, we're going to get back to them with what we found and what we're going to be doing to up the game when it comes to enforcement.
Yeah. We need to see some of those actions. We need to see, as you say, that message being sent by actual successes and blocking what we know is going on. And our office is going to provide you, I will provide you with this email I received yesterday. It's just one example of what's happening in the real world. And you're an enforcement guy. We expect you to enforce it strongly. By the way, Senator Brown and I missed you in Cleveland at our hearing, which was, you know, very sobering about the prescription drug and heroin epidemic.